Steelers had the better team, the better coach, the better quarterback, and yet they needed every last ounce of every bit of effort to pull out the win. Steelers with a 15-point fourth quarter to beat Garrett Gilbert. And the Cowboys, let me say it again, it's Garrett Gilbert and the boys. Steelers get to 8-0 for the first time ever. Exactly, Brandon.
Who's this
Here's
kid?
Ben Roethlisberger after that comeback win.
It's the NFL. There's no easy games. We're the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know everyone's coming for us. If you didn't know who, I'm not trying to take any shots at anybody, but if you didn't know who America's team was, you should have seen the stands and all the terrible towels. Dallas may be America's team, but we'll be the world's team because we got fans everywhere and they're the best in the world.
Kapow! Bam! Boom!
What?
Boom! Boom!
Get your boy,
Shots
Mike.
fired by Ben
Get your boy.
Roethlisberger.
Jenna, just real quick,
yeah.
before we get into it, shout out to Dave Wannstedt, who told an amazing story on Fox pregame this weekend about how Pittsburgh was offered the title of America's team back in the 70s by Pete Rozelle. And he said, no, we are Pittsburgh's team, not America's team. Mike, Wannstedt told that story out on set this week, and it's an unbelievable story. So go ahead, Jen. I just kind of wanted to add to Big Ben's quote.
No,
there.
listen, it's great context, but this was a fantastic Steelers team that should have walked all over the Cowboys, and yet this was a really close game. Mike, you surprised it took a fourth quarter 15-point comeback to beat Dallas yesterday?
No, I'm not surprised because, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they got, everything to gain and nothing to lose when they playing. And, as of right now, everybody's going to get the Dallas Cowboys best. They're going to be super competitive. They got a lot to play for. Guys playing for future contracts. Guys are playing not to get cut. It's a lot of incentive over there for them. And, obviously, with their record, they're going to give you their best. Pittsburgh, it's a game that they were supposed to win, but it was more factors and things that took place than expected. But, at the end of the day, Big Ben got it done. They stepped up when they needed it most, and, they got out of the stadium with a win. That's the one thing Mike Tomlin always talk about. How can we get out of the stadium with a win? They found a way to do it. Another tough loss for Dallas, but I would have been real upset if Pittsburgh Steelers wouldn't have got out of there with a win.
Yeah, Mike, you would like to see, one of the best teams in the NFL beat one of the worst teams in the NFL just a little bit differently. But as Big Ben said, and he's correct, look, it's hard to win a game in the National Football League. So I'm not surprised by this at all because we know it's any given Sunday. Now, should you be able to, look at this team on paper and say, you know what, we should be able to do what we want. But the reality is guys are working every single week. This is your livelihood. You got to get better. If you're not getting better, you're going to get cut. That's players and coaches. So what have the Dallas Cowboys been struggling at? Stopping the run. They slowed down one of the best rushing offenses. They held them to 2.6 yards a carry. Also, tackling was better. And then they didn't have just terrible breakdowns in the secondary. Did they give up one or two big plays? Yes. But they didn't have guys busting coverage. They had guys flying around finally for the first time, and that's why they were in this game. They could have easily won this game if they had a little bit more on the offensive side. So I'm not surprised by this. Big Ben is right. You're going to get your best when you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys come into this game, and they're like, you know what, that's Big Ben. That's Juju over there. Let's go make this thing happen. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys almost did.
Brandon, when Jenna was doing her newsread, you guys started laughing at Super Bowl champion Garrett Gilbert, who played a great game. So Garrett Gilbert was on the Patriots, either practice squad or he is a Super Bowl champion, my friend. There's no reason to expect him to go up there and lay a dud. He played great. Almost put the Steelers' undefeated season off track. Good AAF record. He's rolling 7-1. Look at this guy. Doing a great job. Nick, I think this is actually good for the Steelers. They didn't play their best. You don't need to Google him. I gave you all the relevant facts. Trust me. Dusty and I went through it to try to pull all the interesting stuff.
See how tall this guy is.
Nick, I'm okay with the Steelers playing subpar and getting the win. I actually like it. I actually like, you're not going to play a perfect season en route if you're going to have a perfect season. So if you're going to play a little bit of a letdown game, play it against a team like the Cowboys. Coming up, they got the Bengals, Jacksonville, and then the Ravens. So the next real test is the Ravens again, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, my goodness.
First of all, before I get to the actual game, and I can't believe no one has mentioned this yet, I have to give Big Ben credit for once again, I mean, the times he's done this now, it's got to be well over a dozen in his career, where he suffers what looks like could be, given his reaction, a career-ending injury.
Yeah.
And then heroically and miraculously comes back out the tunnel showing no ill effects. It's like, I thought he tore his ACL and his MCL. He goes to the tunnel early. They have to put Mason Rudolph in the game. And then, man, good God, that's Big Ben's music.
Nick?
He doesn't even have a walking boot on, and he's fine. So shout out to Big Ben.
He's always dramatic.
But he's always doing that. But I'm going to give the Steelers a total and unabashed pass. This is not a Madden simulation. These are human beings. And when you come off what is up to that point the biggest game your team has played in 2 years against the Ravens, and it goes down to the final play of the game and you find a way to win, and then you're the biggest favorites of the weekend against a guy who hasn't played football since the AAF, you're going to have a natural letdown. It's just expected. And so the Steelers are now at a point, to me, where it's almost survive in advance. They are tracking towards 15-1. They are trying to get the bye. And so with Kansas City hot on their tail. So every week that they win, no matter how ugly it is a, no pun intended, a win for them.
Time out.
And so
what do you have them losing?
Well, I think they have 4
Why do you have them
losable
at
games.
15-1?
Because I think they have 4 games that could go either way. Baltimore, I've got them written down. Baltimore, at Buffalo, Indy, and Cleveland. I think any of those 4 games they could lose. They're at Buffalo and at Cleveland, home for Baltimore, and home for Indy. Okay. Okay, well, all right, that's fine. Everybody can laugh at that. That's fine. I mean, Cleveland beat them last year and whatever.
That's funny.
So, okay, hold on. All right, y'all all got jokes. I'm going to mark this down real quick. This is not supposed to be the topic, but I'm going to mark this down. Hold on. Mark my words. That game in Cleveland will be a 3-point spread. So Vegas will have it as a close game, I guarantee it. I don't know how it'll play out. We'll see. But Wilds, you seem to think they're going to go 16-0. I don't think they're going 16-0. But 15-1 could get it done.
I don't see a loss on the schedule. You might see Cleveland if everything's blocked
really
up and your Chiefs have already lost and they've got the bye, then maybe you're right. So you're going to count that in Week 17.
I think
Garrett
that loss
Gilbert,
yesterday was
40
great
passing
for the
yards.
Steelers. We'll get to both of our points in a second. We got to move on because the video says it. Sticking with this game for a little in or out. Juju warmed up in pregame with some dance moves on the star at midfield. All right, fast forward to the 4th quarter. After he scored, he started headed for midfield until a couple of Cowboys players stopped him en route. So, Brandon, you in or out on Juju's attempt to celebrate on the Cowboy star?
I'm all the way out on this. I like Juju. He's a great kid, and everybody loves him because of what he does on social media. He goes viral, but this is not what he should be. This is not his brand. He needs to stop this nonsense. I can understand a little bit, of this antics if there was some bad blood between him and the Dallas Cowboys or these 2 teams, but that's not the case here. I'm all the way out on this, Mike.
Yeah, Brandon, I'm with you. I'm all the way out on this one. Like you said, this is not Juju. Juju he's a stand-up guy. He's a true competitor. I like him as a person, as an individual, and for what he was trying to do on the star, the dances didn't even match, man. I got respect for Juju, man, but come on, give us something. Give us something that's worth it, man. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna go all out, Juju. But hey, man, stay off the star, bro.
Okay, here's the biggest take. He didn't even want to do it. He's like, I danced before the game. He is running so slow. And if you go back and watch T.O. scores, and he's like, I'm gone. I'm headed to the star. And Juju is like, lackadaisy. He's like, oh, boy. He's like, someone stop me. Look at that.